Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the 10 most disturbing bosses in the Resident Evil franchise. We're analyzing these bosses from a backstory and lore perspective, not necessarily from their mechanics or difficulty.
I can feel her clawing her way back inside of me. Get out! Leave me alone!
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
William Birkin, Resident Evil 2. In both the original Resident Evil 2 and the 2019 remake, William Birkin acts as the primary antagonist of Leon S. Kennedy's and Claire Redfield's desperate escape from Raccoon City. He's a disgraced Umbrella researcher who discovered the G-Virus after working on the original T-Virus, and his motivations are extremely selfish. His boss fight form is what you'd expect from a Resident Evil game. After injecting himself with the virus, he mutates into a grotesque, fleshy, wet monster. Why are they always wet? Centurion, Resident Evil 0. The creepiest and most disturbing bosses in Resident Evil usually come in some form of an important story character mutating into a massive freak, like we just said with William Birkin. Other times, Capcom preys on our worst fears and phobias, opting for massive insects for bosses. Resident Evil 0 has a handful of giant bugs and animal monsters like a bat and scorpion, but the giant centipede Centurion you fight in the pool area of the mansion is the worst of the bunch if you already can't stand the multi-legged creepy crawling. Evelyn, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Settle down, little girl. Settle down.
Evelyn is present throughout the entirety of Resident Evil 7 and is one of the creepiest parts of the game. She'll show up in some of the most unexpected places, like in the crawl space under the house, and will keep you on edge until you confront her at the end of the game. She was the first E-type bioweapon, created to eliminate enemies without the need for direct combat, and she gained the ability to control minds, hence the twisted Baker family Ethan Winters must escape from. The end of the Zoe DLC expands on her backstory and has many more creepy Evelyn moments, and her story overall is honestly kind of sad. She just wants a family of her own. Maybe forcing a family to kill people isn't the way, but hey, what do we know? Nosferatu, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Sir Alexander Ashford was another Umbrella researcher who created via cloning the main antagonists of Resident Evil Code Veronica, Alfred and Alexia Ashford. When they discovered how they came to be, they turned their father into the monster we see in the game, Nosferatu. His appearance is one of the most disturbing in the game, especially after knowing that he was once a regular person. He's a blindfolded, tortured creature with an exposed beating heart and spider-like protrusions from his back, and it'll take a big chunk of your ammo to take him out. The Bella Sisters, Resident Evil 4. What's worse than a terrifying crazy old lady trying to kill you with a chainsaw? Two terrifying crazy old ladies trying to kill you with a chainsaw. At a certain point in the original Resident Evil 4, you come to a crossroads and can choose your demise. Fight another massive El Gigante or take on the Bella Sisters. If you choose the latter, you'll go through a bit of a maze and a horde of Ganado, with the Chainsaw Sisters waiting for you at the end. This is probably one of the hardest and most terrifying challenges in the early game, and if you're unlucky enough to get in the way of one of their chainsaws, it's lights out for old Mr. Kennedy. You also fight the Bella Sisters in the remake, but it isn't optional, so good luck either way. Salvatore Moreau, Resident Evil Village.
Oh, you have something to say? What do you mean, mother's special child?
Mother wants her baby back.
Another of Mother Miranda's 4 lords from Resident Evil Village could have taken the spot on the list, but Salvatore Moreau is the most disturbing. A very timid man due to a grotesque mutated body, he was considered a failed experiment by Mother Miranda, which adds to his insecure personality. He doesn't pose much of a threat in his regular form, but when you get to his reservoir, he transforms into a massive fish monster that you have to evade and do your best to take out. He's not so timid now, is he? Marguerite Baker, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Now with me, we're gonna settle this!
Honestly, any member of the Baker family from Resident Evil 7 would easily earn a spot on this list. Jack and Lucas are both deranged maniacs, but Marguerite's design gives her the edge here. She's this entry's representation of body horror, and the handful of moments you encounter her throughout the game before the fight are some of the creepiest in the series. When you fight her, she takes on an insect-like appearance with elongated arms and legs, and will even send swarms of bees your way. Make sure you have enough fuel for the flamethrower. Scagdead, Resident Evil Revelations. A BOW created via the T-Abyss virus, you fight Scagdead at the Promenade deck in the 2012 spin-off Resident Evil Revelations. He takes on a disgusting, monstrous form with an organic buzzsaw for a hand. On top of this, when you enter the area, you can hear the former comms officer calling Mayday over and over again over the radio. Sounds like he was about halfway through his infection and looking for help when Jill arrived, where he relentlessly attacks with a bunch of other enemies. We feel kind of bad for the dude. Mia, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This isn't so much a boss fight as it is a boss runaway, but the first encounter with Mia in Resident Evil 7 is downright terrifying and, of course, disturbing. Possessed by Evelyn, just like the Baker family, when you find her in the beginning of the game, you'll encounter one of the most intense gameplay moments in any horror game. Ethan Winters must have been pretty happy to finally find his missing wife, that is, until she cut off his hand with a frickin' chainsaw. Seriously, what is with Resident Evil and creepy chainsaw ladies? Lisa Trevor, Resident Evil. Lisa Trevor from the 2002 remake of the original Resident Evil is easily the most tragic and disturbing boss in the franchise. She was abducted and experimented on by Umbrella, and then lived in the tunnels surrounding the mansion until the end of her life. She takes on a bit of a hunchback appearance, and during later encounters grows tentacle-like appendages that will attack you. In the final encounter, while Jill and Barry have their dialogue, she jumps into the chasm after recovering her mother's skull, with some fans believing she'll make her return in next year's Resident Evil Requiem.
I don't believe that thing's really dead. Leave this place up to me and go on ahead.
Were you more disturbed by other Resident Evil bosses? Let us know in the comments below.